Welcome back, everyone, to the Song of Waves and Wind, where I am back with me, Thrandir, to find out what our next step will be.
The emissaries have departed? Good.
I hope that the emissaries make haste. If they do not, they may find only bodies that remain, crushed beneath the heels of the Utugi and their Tharduth masters. Ooh, boy, is he nice and confident.
It may not come to that.
It may not come to that. The Tharduth have not woken in thousands of years, and the world is much changed since their dominion of Zikar threatened these lands. They may expect little in the way of opposition. I spoke with the Elf Corridon while you sent the emissaries to their urgent errands. From the description that he gave to me, it appears that the man that you pursued here, of Azagath Sea Shadow, is a Gurzel of Sauron. Oh, what a shock! Yes, I believe that Azagath's search for the Narchak stockpile, of which Corridon spoke, Azagath may find himself ensnared by the Tharduth. Judging from the words of Meglarm of Tharangwath, the seer ones bore no love for Sauron. They suspect him of treachery and disloyalty to Morgoth. How would they treat with one of the Gurzel, I wonder? I don't know about that. Well, let's see what Corridon has to say about it.
I am worried.
I overheard Koltek speaking with Rothog, and from his words it appears that he believed that he has discovered the lost cache of Narchak. Do you think that this is true? Everything my sister told me about this substance fills me with fear. If Koltek has found a stockpile of the hungry fire, will you confront him about this discovery? We can't simply stand by and allow the kindred of the coins to acquire such a thing. All right, I'll see what Koltek has to say about it. Hello there, Koltek. I was wondering if you have any ideas where there is a stockpile of hungry fire?
What do you want?
Yes, I have not discovered it yet, Pineleaf, but I am hopeful that it will not be much longer now. It has been my plan to search the old Hamati fortress of Ashagir for just such a stockpile, but I had planned to search it alone. Now you can join me, and if Corridon the Elf is so concerned about my comings and goings, you can join him as well. Yes, I will meet you two just outside of Ashigir, in the northwest. Your map was most clear to me, and I will have no difficulty in finding the place. I trust that you will have no problems joining me there. Or so meet Koltek outside of Ashigir, atop the northwest cliffs. Oh, joy! Back to Ashigir. Ah, yes, back to the lift. Now, if I reckon things properly, all those quests I did earlier should have, in their totality, have unlocked the ladder properly. There's both the epic part that we have done all being completed, and on top of that, the local quests. So if that's true, I won't have to go through a large mass of carbon in order to get up there this time. Well, let's test out that hypothesis. Assuming I get the right place. Of course, what's a trip to this place without the requisite slaughter of Karagrim, in the hopes that someday I might be able to complete a deed on them, right? Assuming that they don't decide to have a pine leaf deed or anything like that. I just wonder, are there mobs out there that have deeds for players. Every time they kill a player, they tick up a deed. And what do they get if they manage to kill 100 players? I guess there would be something like that for monster players in the moors. But right now, this is just a big mess. Of course, Kervim are involved. Everything's a mess in this place. And who knows? Other people might also arrive who also want to kill such things. Well, looks like I've got a semi-clear... Well, maybe not as semi-clear as I thought. I wonder how many Kergrim Caltech had to fight in order to get here. Well, are you ready?
Here we are.
Shagir once held the largest stockpile of Narhak ever collected in one place. Rather than surrender it to his enemies, the last Shah of Hamad set fire to it, consuming fortress, Shar, and the stockpile. But people, perhaps some of the Narhat remained in sealed chambers below ground. It is my hope that some of the mighty stockpile escaped the conflagration, and that you will help me find it. Oh, does Corridon the elf find this distasteful? Probably. I have a feeling he is hoping that all of it was consumed by the fire.
If any member of the Kindred of the Coins finds a stockpile of Narzak, I believe we should know of it.
That is true of Azagath or Nakasi, but it is also true of Holtek. I will help search for the fortress for the stockpile, but I hope that we find nothing. Yes, I know, we are going through this quest so that we'll find nothing. Well, if we didn't find the stockpile, then I have a feeling that maybe we'd find Nakasi instead, because where'd she go? So now the question is, where is this thing? Up around? Up around? Up around? Nothing here. Up around? Sealed the door? Up around? How about this way? Sealed? Okay. Twisty and... Uh-oh. Not good. Can this be the hidden cache of Narkhak, Satvakaltek? Well... maybe it's rum instead. Though I suspect rum wouldn't keep all these years too well. Well, what do you say, Gordon?
It is as I feared. A stockpile of Narzak survived the conflagration of Ashagir.
This chamber must have been sealed away sometime during the Hamati reign. When Amu set the torch to the rest of the hungry fire, this chamber escaped the burning. The quake that shook this land following the defeat of Sauron must have opened the way to the sealed chamber. Oh, wonderful. I'm sure Haltech really is excited about this. Have you ever seen anything so beautiful as this undisturbed chamber? Oh boy. Oh, behold the last surviving stockpile of hungry fire. A weapon thought vanished from this world. I see the way forward now. The fortunes of my dominion are on the rise. The curious light glimmers in Caltech's eyes. And now the only question is he speaking as Koltek of the Kindred of the Coins, Koltek of the Corsairs of Umbar, or Corsairs the TitanBar of the Shoreward Stone, or some other group. I guess we are about to find out, aren't we? But I must not get ahead of myself. This Nohak cannot be transported anywhere until something can be done about the ancient evil that wakens the Urishtar. That will require something of which I am not particularly fond. A confrontation. We will return to Ilzachel and see what the Wizard of the North can decide to do about these servants of Morgoth. All right. Let us go back and speak with Mithrandir. Now, the next question is, was that enough to finally unlock this ladder? Now that we finally have a quick way up and down, I probably won't need to ever go there again. Well, let's get back to Mithrandir. Gandalf decided to send me on a little extra scouting up to the Gorge of Woe and see if this is where all those new orcs and the seer ones are coming from. What do you think, Lord Fidel?
The creatures that prowl outside the river channel grow in danger and ferocity.
It was wise of Mithrandir to direct us to follow the river as we approached the secret dwelling of Tharduth. We must be prepared for anything. Neither I nor Gandalf have been tested by the seer ones, neither in this nor in any age of the world. That's because if you've been tested by them before, you would have remembered them. And if you remembered them, then they wouldn't have come. Well, let us then head on down the river and see what they have. Most likely they are going to be giving us trouble, right? I see waterfalls up in the distance. I wonder if there's going to be any significance in that. What do you say, Legolas?
Neither I nor Gimli know what awaits us at the end of this journey.
Perhaps if we had some idea how the Tartooth remained hidden for so long, but alas, we must be ready for anything. How they managed to remain so long? You mean other than the Gaius of Morgoth? Well, I guess we'll find out when we get to the end. Whether that means at the waterfall or someplace else. Maybe they're hidden behind the waterfall? Would that hide someone for several millennia? That sounds unlikely. Oh well. As we travel along, it looks like the Utugi start arriving. Well, that must mean that we're going to the right place, or the wrong place, if you want to avoid it. Ooh, he looks nasty. Utugi Obliterator. Well, you're not obliterating me, that's for sure. Now, where were we? Oh, yes. We were heading along down the river to see if we could find out where the Utugi are coming from and how they managed to stay hidden for so long. Well, it looks like there is a fortress behind that waterfall. I wonder if there's a good place up there for me to scout before I head up any closer. Ah, this looks like a good place to get up to some higher ground. Let's see if it takes me up to the right place without running into too many scorpions and the like. Ah. Now, will I get a good vantage point? Will I fight many a scorpion? Well, they're going to try to have me for dinner. Alright, now let's see if I can find out more of these devastators I could see. Well, I certainly think that eliminating as many of these as possible would be a good idea. Because I'm sure that if I tried to scout the area with them spying on me, they would give me a great deal of trouble. Of course, the minion orcs also have to get out of the way. This might be a good place in which to have a nice look. Oh, okay, that's just an orc. At first I thought, was that one of those ultra powerful orcs? No. And deal with the insects at the same time. Ouch! Stop that! Go wasp somewhere else. This does look like it could have a good view. Ooh. Very nasty, but somehow that doesn't look like something that could have stayed hidden for so long, unless, of course, the rock used to cover it up. Now, this looks like a good place, actually. Let's deal with him first, and then let's examine this ground. See what it can tell us. Yes? Alright. Yeah. I think that gives us all the information we need. Now, let's get back to our friends. I can see... Oh, that looks like Corden and Siletas down there. Can I get down there easily, or maybe I should take the safe route? Actually, Gandalf is also here.
Yes, I see now. I understand how the Tharduth remained hidden for so long.
When the Tharduth sealed the doors of their sanctuary, the Seer Ones changed the course of the river, hiding the face of the temple with the new cascade. They then pulled down the cliff face to completely mask their location, and remain hidden for the ages to follow. The quakes that followed the fall of Sauron shook the earth, changing the cliffs and revealing the entrance to Umbar. I guess because the last living entity to remember them disappeared with the quakes, so the quakes then also opened up the door. Yeah, sounds like a way for a Gaius to end. Well, what do you say about that, Ciliartus?
Is it true that the foes we must face were once of my people? Are they truly beyond saving now?
Oh, this must be the cruelest of Morgoth's hurts. A wound deep enough to persist many thousands of years after his defeat. Yeah, that's Morgoth for you. What do you say, Corden?
We are being watched.
I cannot see those who watch us, but I feel their eyes upon us. Can he feel them too? What do we do?
We will together approach Utubor.
Let us hope that the great courage possessed by our small number will give us safety as we pass beyond the falls. Well, I guess it's time to go.
The hidden temple of the Tharduth stands before us.
What do we do now then? Ooh, we got quite a company here. Rothog, Koltek, Sirigan, Silertus, Glorfindel, Corridon, and Gimli. Steel your resolve, Pineleaf. We know not the precise nature of the evil that we go to face, but we will face it all the same. Ooh.
Forward, my friends, with courage!
With courage! Oh boy. Oh! Azagath Sea Shadow. That's what we find here.
You are the one called Azagath Sea Shadow? Gurzyul of Sauron?
Sauron is dead, old man.
Yeah?
I have allied myself with a greater power now.
Greater power. Uh-oh.
Koltek! Arathog! My new friends have promised to serve the interests of the kindred. Will you join hands with me, as you did before?
Well, let's see what they do. Well, what does Koltek have to say? Koltek glances at you briefly, but says nothing. All of his attention is fastened upon Azagath. Okay, and what does Rothog have to say? We have found our quarry, Pine Leaf. The journey that brought us from Umbar Baharbel as allies is at an end. We have found Azagath. But it seems that someone else has found him first. Ooh?
The Seer Ones keep no promises, save to Morgoth.
When they found me, they were full of questions.
They desired to know the state of things in the world. They agree that our enemies are theirs, Rothog. They will begin with Gondor, as we planned. What say you, my friends?
I don't think he's talking to me.
I say no, Azagath.
Whew.
My way is Hailsea. Freedom.
All right.
There will be no freedom beneath the heel of your new masters.
Well, that's true.
I believed you to have wisdom, despite your kind, Rothog. I mourn to have been wrong.
Oh, no, I think he made the right choice.
What say you, Koltek?
Now, this is more troubling.
I value success above all, Azagath. How will these Tharduth, these Seer Ones, defeat our enemies? They possess ancient sorceries even Sauron mastered not. The orcs they command are larger and deadlier than his own. You dare turn your back on me?
Ancient sorceries? Deadly orcs?
You wish to trade one Dark Lord for another, Azagath. The kindred of the coins will not serve such a master as this.
Mithrandir, an army of reinforcements approaches.
An army?
Shagani warriors and Kinta elves march beside the river.
Surrender now, Azagath, and we will show you mercy.
There will be no mercy here, old man. Your lives must now be measured in minutes. Goodbye, dead ones.
Goodbye. It appears now we've got a battle on our hands. What's the plan?
We could not avoid this battle. We are now all that stands between these servants of Morgoth and the rest of Middle-earth.
With fell sorcery, the Tharduth make the falls run as red as blood. And by that name will this battle be known. Dagor Karlanthir, the Battle of the Red Waterfall.
We are lucky indeed that the Shagani warrior arrived with her mother's fighters.
But how will they do? And how will we do in this new battle? We have to find that out in the next episode of the Song of Waves and Wind.